Hi and welcome to the show. Later we'll be joined by the lovely Lou Collins, who'll be showing us a really clever masking technique on a scrapbook page using the Papermania Little Red Robin by Lucy Cromwell collection. But first, I wanted to give you a closer look at a project I've created for the September issue of Creativity magazine. It's quite a simple layout, but I wanted to show it to you because it features pretty much all the collections that you'll be wanting to pick up this Christmas. We've got Country Companions, 12 Days of Christmas, Forever Friends craft notes. So just to give you a little reminder that you don't have to stick to one range when you're creating your projects. Why not mix and match, and you can get a really unique look. Okay then, hi Lou. What have we got to show us today?
I'm going to show you a scrapbook page.
Fantastic.
And we're going to be using some of these cards. So what we're going to do, firstly, a little tip for you.
Okay.
If you want to reuse this in the way I'm going to use it, it's a good idea to cover it in clear ink first and then clear embossing powder. So you heat emboss it and it gives you a nice film over the top. It will strengthen it because a lot of these, the leaf centres are a little bit fragile.
It's very delicate, isn't it?
So, and that way you can also wipe it clean afterwards.
Brilliant, that's a fantastic top tip. We like anything that means we can use things over and over.
So what we're going to do first is build up our layers of leaves. So instead of one wreath, you're going to have lots of colours built up together.
Brilliant.
Here. So I'm going to start with the darkest colour first.
Okay.
But before I start inking, because this comes quite far to the edge, quite close to the edge, I'm going to cover it with some white paper.
Okay.
Especially
So we haven't got to worry about going over the edges.
So I'm going to start with chocolate.
Lovely. And are these the dye inks you're using?
Yes.
Brilliant.
So you're going to get messy fingers.
Oh good, we like that.
Another tip, you don't want to rub when you're applying this.
Again, because you could twist
dab,
those little bits off. We don't want
So if you just dab, you can still use a corner so it's a little bit more accurate.
Yeah.
I'm going to go all the way round.
Perfect.
There we go.
Lovely.
There's first colour. What we're going to do is very carefully lift this up and just twist it maybe a quarter. Try and keep your centre central.
Yeah. Oh, that's very clever. So you're going to get a proper 3D.
Yeah, we're really going to get that dimension on it. Really go over it again. It doesn't matter that you've already got brown on there. If any transfers, it's fine. It'll mix in.
Lovely.
There we go. There's some green.
That looks really good.
Now the next stage, I always store these upside down. And that way the ink stays in the foam pad. I'm going to twist it once more.
Good.
This time we're going to use two colours. I'm going to use my, there we go, dark yellow. It's on the edge of some of these leaves.
Oh, I see.
So there we go. And then we're going to fill in these gaps with the green, and that should mix with the yellow, give you another colour altogether again.
Natural look about it. That looks really good. Beautiful.
There we go. Like that, it doesn't look the best. It's okay, but it can do with some more dimension. Yeah. So what I've done here, I've actually cut it out. I used a craft knife in the middle, some scissors around the edge, some small scissors, and just to add a little bit more dimension, we're going to take this chocolate pad again.
Okay.
Decide where your top is going to be. You want to just brush under the top, as if you've got light from the top.
Oh, that's
add a
very
little
clever.
bit of shadow.
Yeah, I see.
And then again, on the bottom.
Perfect.
Here. So we're going to decorate our wreath now, and I've used some of the Christmas in the Country collection. I've got some bows, a ready-made bow.
These are brilliant, aren't they? I mean, there's lots of bows in many of the Papermania ranges, but these great big chunky ones are definitely my favourites, I think.
Perfect for this. Absolutely brilliant for this. So I'll just turn my glue gun on here because that's the easiest thing to attach a bow with.
Yep, definitely.
So we'll add some dome stickers while that's heating up. We'll just put these on randomly.
Bit of sparkle.
Right, so we're going to use some hot glue and pop our ribbons on.
Lovely.
What I'm going to do is to make the hoop, I've tucked it round the top of the wreath. I'm going to pop that bit onto there, fold that bit over. Can you see what I'm doing there?
Perfect.
So now we're going to do our base.
Lovely.
Oh, another tip actually, while I think of it, when you're stamping, ideally you want to do it on the smooth side of cardstock. Okay. Some of the Papermania cardstock is textured on one side, smoother on the other, and it's a lot easier to stamp with your ink pad onto one, so you don't get that raised bit where you
miss
miss
bits.
bits.
The better.
The smoother the better. Use my glue dots just to...
And is it your preferred glue to use a roller for scrapbooking?
Definitely. Something flat like this, I prefer to use this, and of course my hot glue gun.
Anything a bit dimensional, definitely.
Yes. I don't like using wet glue too much because it does take a bit longer to dry, and
it can buckle sometimes as well.
It can. I do craft quite quickly, so I need things to dry almost instantly.
Yeah.
Or at least grip.
You don't want to be
waiting
around, no.
Right, there we go. So
lovely.
Then next layer is going to be some of these little red robin papers. I've chosen the ivy leaf.
That's lovely, isn't it?
Beautiful. I'm going to cut it because the width is just over 8 inches. I want a square, so I'm going to cut it again just over 8 inches.
Perfect.
There we go. And because this is quite a muted colour, I wanted to add some detail to the edge. So I'm going to distress it.
Good.
Firstly, by running some scissors around the edge again, being very careful because they're sharp.
Definitely.
Just pulling up the...
I love distressing layers of paper.
I do. Now I'll just add a little bit of brown around the edges, highlights those edges.
Very nice.
And to really make the underneath stand out, I've used one of these sheets. I think these are about 4 by 6.
Yeah.
See these 2 red swirls? That's what I've used for each one. So
yes.
you just cut out a section.
Very nice.
We'll do the same again on this top one. Pop you behind there as well.
Yeah, that's lovely.
A little bit of pink or red there.
Peeking through, very
so you
nice.
can see it. And again, we're just going to distress this a little so it ties in.
That looks lovely.
There we go. So now we're going to stick this down, but we're not going to go right to the edge because we want to tuck some things in.
Okay.
So make sure you're going over those pink pieces again, secure them.
Lovely.
I call them pink, they should be red really.
They're a pinky red.
There we go, in the centre.
Very nice.
Now again, from this we're going to take 2 pieces and we're going to do exactly the same. Distress. Position where you think they'll go.
Perfect.
I think that looks okay, so we'll
Looks
stick
very
that
nice.
down. We want him poking out just a bit. There we go, and like you said before, we can curl these edges up before we add
Zhuzh him up.
Now we've got our wreath that we made before.
Beautiful.
I'm going to pop a photo underneath.
It's very cute.
My little boy is not so little anymore.
He's lovely.
What I'm going to do is just mark very carefully where the inside of the wreath is for positioning my photo.
Okie doke.
There we go, again. So I can just see where that will lay. Top, bottom, side. There we go. Should be
beautiful.
Right. Now to give this even more dimension, I'm going to use foam pads.
Beautiful.
There we go. And the last thing really to add to that is going to be letters. Now, I always struggle with letter stickers, getting them straight.
Okay.
I'm sure I'm not the only one. There's 2 tips for you if you like doing this and trying to get them straight. Line them up on the edge of the ruler.
You're putting them on the ruler. That's very clever.
Onto the ruler first. There we go. So once you've got it lined up on there, take it to where it will sit. Say around there. And you can push them down.
That's a great tip.
There we go.
That's,
perfectly straight.
Very good indeed.
And again, like I say, to highlight it, you can go around with a black pen. It will just lift it off the page, as I have done here.
Definitely.
And there we go.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for coming in and showing us
You're
that
welcome.
now. It's lovely to see a little bit of scrapbooking on Do Crafts TV. If you've been inspired by Lou's project and you start to do a little bit of scrapbooking, we'd love to see your projects. Do drop us an email to tv@docrafts.com and we could feature your project on a future episode. Don't forget, you can find all the instructions, measurements and everything like that for the project at docrafts.com. So if you've missed anything in this episode, don't worry, just pop along and have a look there. And until next time, happy crafting.